What's good, Big Blue family? Welcome to Big Blue Reborn, where we talk real New York Giants football. No fluff, no corporate takes, just honest breakdowns and real standards. I'm Milton. This is my cousin Ethan, and we're here with another episode. First off, before we get into it, if you haven't hit that subscribe button already, please go ahead and hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, so that way we get to the rest of the Giants fans that are listening and watching on YouTube, man. We appreciate you guys. This week on the check-in, what we're going over, the next thing that we're looking forward to is training camp coming up at the end of this month, right? We got some time. They're resting, getting their bodies right. But what we're looking at are expectations from a few of the position groups, right?
Yeah.
The Big Blue check-in this week. We're going over this wide receiver depth. We'll start with the wide receiver depth. We got a
Okay.
lot of receivers in this room, man. Got a lot of.
Yeah, this is crowded. It's a crowded room, but one thing I like about this wide receiver depth, we have every kind of receiver we need. We got the all-in-one Malik Neighbors. We got the big-bodied young dude and Fields. We
Yeah.
got Shifty Quick. We got and what's his name? Darnell Mooney and Calvin Austin,
Yep.
We got the punt returner kind of Baxton Berrios. And Calvin also could do the punt return as well, kick return. So we got all types.
We got the vets, Obi,
Yeah,
Juju.
exactly. Vets, Odell, Juju. We even got the one guy that's not even supposed to be here. I bet you can guess who that is. Jalen Hyatt. He's still here.
I wasn't
It's
even.
like, bro.
I'm trying to just load that off that. we get
So
we get to the 53, and then hopefully that's not a name we got to talk about no more.
exactly.
Unfortunately, look,
Or unless we can trade him for like a sixth rounder or something, a pick swap.
I don't
But
think there's any stock in that, but we'll see.
but as far as the depth, we got obviously Malik Neighbors. He's the top dog, number one.
Who would you?
Recently they did the team pictures and stuff like that,
Yeah,
and he looked a lot better. Some of the swelling went down. A lot of people were saying that he looks solid. Probably by week one, maybe it's just like it was just for a little bit, and then he just needed that rehab. We don't see what he does on a day-to-day basis, but it looks like rehabbing is coming along pretty well.
I think.
And
I think one thing about Malik is when we were freaking out about the softball game, we weren't really thinking about like, oh, his leg is still swollen. We got to realize that he just had a second surgery.
right.
So you got to come down off of that too. Like there's that
Mhm.
trauma. You just cut your leg open to try to, they said they cleaned it up,
Yeah.
but he can get a little bit more motion and things of that nature. So he's probably swelling up the second surgery. So I completely understand him not being mobile. Again, we are talking about a complete knee reconstruction. So
Mhm.
we still don't know if we're gonna get him week one, but things are looking much better.
Yes, exactly. So, I mean, long as he just comes back healthy, long as we've already got a quarterback that can prove that he can play well without a number one wide receiver. So that's good. It should just only be better once we get a number one back.
Yeah.
Um, and then after Malik Neighbors is Darius Slayton. He had that sports hernia. He's always had a love-hate relationship with fans because it's like if he's the number two, it's like, oh my gosh. But then when you put him in like the number one spot, like he does okay enough to keep his spot on the team. He's not the worst wide receiver. If he was on other people's teams, he'd probably be a wide receiver three. But just because of our roster, he's wide receiver two. But he's always had some upside. That speed is hard to teach. So it's just really more like his hands.
You think
Um,
you think with all these receivers in the room, he still starts the season as number? Let's say he comes back for training camp healthy. As far
mhm.
as the depth chart is concerned, you think he stays wide receiver too?
Yeah, I mean contractually. it's hard to get rid of him. So it's like somebody making that much money in the wide receiver room. You got to throw him the ball and get him because there's no point to having him. It's not like they're going to pull like a Kenny Galladay where he was just so bad and doesn't matter how much he's making, you got to take him out of there. Darius Slayton's going to produce is probably just not how we expect it or we really want it to, but he's going to produce in a ways that, are good. And, if he does get one-on-one coverage, he does do okay enough to keep that position that he's at number 2.
I
Age and
personally real
Mhm,
quick, I personally think Imma say this right now, and I might get vilified for it later, but drop is Slayton. I called him this once, right?
mhm.
I personally think Darius is about to have one of his best years.
Okay.
I think
That's
he's gonna
cool.
bounce back. I don't think this like, the hernia thing, I think he's good off of that. He's gonna come back, he's gonna be fine, he's gonna be strong, he's gonna get right back into the rhythm during
Mhm.
training camp. But I think because of the level of competition that's in the room right now,
Yeah.
I think we're gonna get the best performance out of him.
Okay. Well, I hope so too because, long as he does well, um, I don't think he'll be on the team next year, but that allow him to get some good team and move on forward. So, um moving right along off of Slayton, uh,
Yeah.
be
Oh my
we
god.
got OBJ. This is like a feel good, like just come on back home kind of special wide receiver. He was a number one for us for so many years. He was literally on pace to be one of the greatest wide receivers ever in the NFL. It's not many people you can say did that.
Yeah.
He had probably the greatest catch in NFL history on that game against the Cowboys so many years ago. He changed the era of football for a lot of young Giants fans. People's like we used to say lost them. Now they're saying, "Oh, the OBJ catch, the OBJ catch." Like,
OBJ challenge. I
mm-hmm.
seen so many kids with the
Blonde
curly
hair.
hair and the blonde tops. Haven't seen
Mm-hmm.
he changed. He was kind of like for the NFL. He was like what AI was. When AI came to the NBA.
Yes.
So
Yup.
he was like he even had NFL players. Even if they don't want to admit that. He even had
Hmm.
NFL players trying to. They was trying to catch the ball one handed after that too. A
Let me
lot
tell you
more,
something.
a lot more than they used to.
Let me tell you something. During that time, he was your favorite wide receiver, favorite wide receiver.
Yep.
That's how much he was balling.
Mhm.
So he was taking slants to the house,
Everybody
but
was
as
waiting to see the Sellies at the end once he broke that slant to the house, and then we waiting for the Michael Jackson Selly in the back.
exactly, and he had different gears. He had first gear, second gear, third gear, and fourth gear.
Mhm.
Dude was on some Luffy stuff.
Yeah,
Crazy. Um, he didn't play last year, but he was recovering from an injury, so allowed him to really get his body right. He's been playing. He played last for the Dolphins, I believe it was, or yes, he was on the Dolphins and no, or the Ravens. I'm sorry. He didn't really play too much for the Ravens, and for the Dolphins, he didn't look too great. But after that injury, he was allowed to just take his time and get right. And now he's back home with the Giants. And this is probably his last go around. He's probably somebody who's going to be there if he just take he's on a vet minimum.
yeah,
So he's just there to as a veteran presence that has done it all from tearing your ACL to winning the Super Bowl and possibly being the Super Bowl MVP. Like he was most likely going to be that.
yeah.
So
No, definitely.
all that knowledge and experience is good to have in the room. Somebody that all these receivers can look up to.
Mhm.
Um, Next we got Darnell Mooney. He comes to New York after 4 seasons with the Bears, 2 seasons in Atlanta. He had some injuries, but he's a solid number 2. He's really good against man coverage, so a lot of, one-on-ones. If he gets those, I could see him one of those 8 out of 10 times and being a definite threat that people are gonna sleep on and not think that he's one to really worry about or game plan against, where we might take advantage of that and put him in good positions to um, be able to catch the ball for us effectively and just move the chains and be that shifty kind of playmaker that no one's expecting to make those plays.
He's like a younger version of to me, he's like a younger version of Slayton, to be completely honest. It's the same it's the same receiver. Like, it's just, you see the same inconsistencies, like, you got a lot of
Hmm.
and then there's times where there's big drops and moments that you need, so, I
Yeah.
think, with him getting a second win and getting another opportunity, though, I do think we'll see a better Darnell Mooney on this team, but
Hmm.
I have watched us try to, like, revitalize receivers. We have tried to bring receivers back up, like, again, best depth that we've had in a while, but I'm not
Yeah.
holding too much stock into it, you know what I mean?
I get what you're saying. I mean, it's just I'm just glad to have this kind of depth that we have.
We have
A
some.
couple of receivers, some of them, the thing is, it's just going to be rough to cut down day because we have a lot of receivers that kind of do the same thing. Like you said, Mooney and Slayton are probably roughly kind of the same kind of receiver.
Yeah,
Maybe one's just a little bit bigger or stronger or faster, but it's not that much of a difference. One may be good at in route and one may be better at out route.
yeah,
So it's like, what do you prefer in your offense? What kind of flavor of ice cream do you like?
uh,
Kind of thing. They're all good. Um, and then we got Juju Smith Schuster, actually a 10-year vet, um, who was a Pro Bowler at the top of his game. Past several seasons, he was on the Kansas City Chiefs, and this is good because he was in Matt Nagy's offense,
yeah,
so he knows how to work the zones, where to be, how to sit and make a quarterback feel comfortable where he's going to be. He might be like the sleeper to actually make the roster just because he's so well with the offense and can be there at the right spots for Jackson Dart on just being smooth with the progressions,
yeah,
because we were all worried about last year how Jackson Dart was taking too much time in the pocket and not trusting his read progressions, where if he has a receiver that's on the same page as him who could just sit down at the right spot at the right yard marker just to get enough. That might be where it's like 1-2 and the ball's out. You know what I'm saying? Versus him doing all that dart magic that we were happy he's able to do, you know, but we want him to make those plays within the read progression and be able to pick up first downs when because some teams aren't going to allow that running around stuff.
exactly,
So
exactly, especially now that they got tape on it now, so
exactly. So
you
the
can't
tape is gonna
call
make
it.
the world of difference,
Yeah,
you know? It
yep.
makes a world of difference.
He's gonna
Uh,
see it the first couple of games, but I still think the Imma stick with Jackson, bro. I know what he had to do last year, and I know how pockets broke down and he thought that he had to do. Sometimes he left the pocket earlier than he needed to, but
right.
I think with the new coaching and things of that nature, him being able to look at his own tape and see that, I think he'll be able to make that adjustment. I am all for Jackson Dart and his move forward. I think he's gonna have a great season this year.
Yeah, yeah, I believe so too. Juju Smith-Schuster was also signed on the day that we got Odell Beckham Jr. and
But
Braxton Berrios. I'll get to Braxton Berrios in a second.
yeah,
A wide receiver we signed during free agency was Calvin Austin. He's a speedster. I think he's probably, if not the fastest on the team now, it's either him or Malik Neighbors. We'll see when Malik Neighbors gets back on the field, but this is the kind of speed that can't be taught, that I think just because of his speed and shiftiness puts him, and his ability to play on punt and special teams, that gets him a spot on this roster. Um, After a couple of years on Pittsburgh, um, with so much speed, they didn't really use him as much as I think he could be used, just because that speed for in the slot is different. It makes the difference because he's definitely faster than Wandale Robinson. If we had to compare, if I believe if Calvin Austin had the same opportunities as Wandell did last year, because of his speed and shiftiness, he would have made way more plays just because
Yeah,
of that kind of speed. Even though, you know,
I
he's
think
more of a
he's
slot and
better.
Wandell was able to play outside, I think Calvin Austin is a better playmaker.
Yeah.
So,
I think he was better with the like after the catch.
yeah.
So he broke more tackles. So I think end result with the same opportunities, yeah, I think he would have had more yards. He would have looked like a better receiver. So I definitely think given
Mhm.
the opportunity, Calvin Austin's gonna be, he's gonna plug that position that we thought we lost when Wandell left.
Right. But I think he'll be able to excel in that role if he was given the same if he given the same opportunity. Even though we're gonna have a different offense, um, I can see Calvin Austin making a lot of good plays for us, if even if it's just like from the slot verts, and he's just taking the top off the defense, and the linebackers and safeties are really saying like, this guy has a lot of speed. We have to really make sure we're on top of it, and that might push for a too high kind of thing, and where else allows us to work underneath a lot more.
Yeah,
Um, we got Braxton Berrios, another vet. He joined with Odell and Juju Smith Schuster. Um, he spent last season with the Texans, former All Pro kick returner. Um, he released here because Gunnar Oslowski got injured. Probably if he makes a team, it'll just be solely as a kick returner, maybe five wide. Come in if somebody gets hurt, but if
mainly.
all pro kick returner, long as he can get us, if they kick the ball to him and he's taking the ball to like the 35, 40 or something like that, where those plays where it's like, oh, we almost broke it. And
Yeah,
we're just getting that much more because, you get like two first downs and now you're already in first field goal range. And that makes the world of difference for offenses. So, being able to end every drive in a good kick, you know what I'm saying? Whether it's an extra point or a field goal,
yeah.
not a punt though.
Yeah, we try to stay away from that. We're trying to stay away.
Exactly, yeah. Um, we got Isaiah Hodgins, 6'3", big body kind of receiver. He was good for us in the 2022 season. We got him off of waiver wire. I mean, away from the practice squad of the Bills, and him and Daniel Jones were doing pretty good. You know what I'm saying? And so he's been like on and off. Really hasn't gotten too much opportunity, but when he's here, we know that he's a solid route runner. Maybe not the fastest, but he's good to have on the team. It's good to have receivers of different styles and play. So Jackson Dart can get comfortable with who he likes, whether it may be like we get more bigger bodies on the field for running the ball or play action, and or if it's just a jump ball situation where the mismatch, the corners on the opposite team are just shorter. You know what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
now we're using bigger body receivers just to body them up. So it's good to have Isaiah Hodgins. Um, I have Jalen Hyatt here too.
I feel like at this point, the rest of the receivers are gonna be, just like practice
Yeah,
if
practice squad. I'll just shout their names out. Buick Collins, Xavier Gibson, Ryan Miller, Dalen Cambry. He was undrafted. Maybe somebody who can fight for a practice squad spot. And then last but not least is Malachi Fields. Round three, pick 74, big body, young man. He could be. I think he's has the biggest potential in this wide receiver core to be a good factor for Jackson Dart. And he just got to catch the ball. Just got to catch the ball and feel comfortable in the offense.
Yeah. No,
So,
man. It's a crazy receiving core, man. You heard all those names. That's like a wild receiving core. I'm so
mhm.
curious. And I'm curious, you guys drop it in the comments. Tell me, because I'm about to ask even a crazy question. But here, he just
Oh man,
listed about 9, 10 receivers. And
yeah,
they're only keeping about 6. And if Malik
yeah.
Neighbors, let's say he does look better, that means only 5 to 6 more people are making it. So let's say, hypothetically speaking, drop it in the comments. Let us know. Hypothetically speaking, if we keep 6 receivers, 5 more behind Malik Neighbors, Who's making the team?
Um, well, we know for a fact it's going to be Darius Slayton, contractual reasons.
Yep,
We know it's going to be Malachi Fields, just drafted.
yep.
Um, I would say Calvin Austin because of the speed aspect. Um,
That's four.
uh, believe it or not, I think some other guys we can always put them on the practice squad too as well. Like um what's his name? I just said it. Isaiah Hodgins and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So they might not make the 53, but well, they'll get cut and then brought back on the practice squad. But um two more receivers. We'll probably keep the vet and Odell, and I would like to say Darnell Mooney because if Slayton gets hurt, that's like the one like we keep relatively the kind of same personnel on the field, you know. So we don't know how Slayton's going to come back off this injury, but if uh Malik Neighbors not there, the same kind of body type and playability, I would hope would be Odell. But I mean, obviously he's older, but those would be my other five behind Malik Neighbors.
And
You
then
know,
one honorable mention. Let's say if the wild out and Harbaugh decides to keep seven, who would you say that last receiver is behind? You said Darnell Mooney was the last one. Who would you say that one other receiver would be?
honorable mention would be Juju Smith Schuster, another vet presence, knowing where to be, can definitely just be at the right place at the right time and feel as another safety blanket. Definitely helped Patrick Mahomes last season. He wasn't like a number one receiver or a continuous like on the field, but when he was on the field, he definitely made a smart catch as far as being in the right spot at the right depth, like not being underneath the sticks, being a yard past the sticks and getting just what he needs to and going straight down. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah, yeah. No, I get
that's
that. That's you had every single you hit the nail on the head, so I have nothing to add. Shoot, we gave
okay.
move right.
So you
We'll
would have
move
picked those same receivers as well?
legit. And you said the only thing is I had it. The order that I had was Malik Neighbors, Darius Slayton, Darnell Mooney, Calvin Austin, Malachi Fields, and then Odell.
Okay.
So that's just in order of how they would get signed to the team in my mind, that's how it would be. And Malachi is in front of Odell because of the fact that he's the rookie
He
that they
was just
just signed.
drafted.
He makes it because of the veteran presence, I think, and
Hmm.
him being that last receiver, just being able to be that person in the room. And then if we had that one-off opportunity that Harbaugh decides to take seven, Juju was the next one that I saw because of the fact that one, he already played in Nagy's system, and two, he's a little bit bigger of a receiver in comparison to like Odell. So when it comes down to like those blocking schemes and things that we want, Juju would probably be the plug for that.
Mm. Okay.
So you
I'm
on
all
the
with it,
same
man.
So moving right along, we're gonna slide right into the big blue spotlight.
Hey,
The spotlight, the
hey,
spotlight this week, we're spending time going over the cornerbacks. The
yes.
cornerbacks, kind of like my favorite competition. We asked earlier in the check-in, like what were the biggest training camp, battles. I definitely think that the cornerback battle is one of them, but I wanted to
Hmm.
save it for this particular section. Um, so Ethan, we got some we got some corners
Hmm.
that played a little mediocre last year, man. This
Yeah.
man, Paulson Adebo, Paulson Adebo. I'm gonna start with him. I'm gonna start with the from the top down, basically. In
Okay.
in the order I feel they are on the depth chart. If we had to put a depth chart on right now,
Okay.
Paulson Adebo, I think he's
Yep.
still gonna be CB1.
Yep. Yep.
Um,
Yep.
just got to stay healthy. He's got to stay
Hmm.
healthy. Uh, from last year. some slight 71 tackles and 1 interception, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
Nothing.
with that being said, it's not no flashy numbers. With how we signed him to the team, we were definitely expecting more. You
Mhm.
know, um, expectations under Denard Wilson, I definitely think we've seen we can't really make a real judgment call off of what they're doing right now because they're not in pads, right?
Right.
But we see the cornerbacks real sticky. They look like
Mhm.
they're being able to stay close to, receivers man to man and things of that nature. So we're starting to see them be able to play with a little bit more freedom than they've had.
Okay.
And when when you start seeing the defenders start feeling that freedom of play, freedom without having that thought behind what they're doing, you start to see better performance. So I do think that he's going to step into a better role this year with Denard Wilson. Um, Hopefully
Okay.
become bigger leader in the room too, because he does have like a younger core. Not everybody
Yes.
we brought over are like vets, you know what I'm saying? But I do think he's gonna step into a better role this year. He's gonna perform much better for us. We're gonna see a lot more pass breakups and more interceptions. We need to see more turnovers.
Yeah, he's definitely. I think in Denard Wilson's scheme, he's going to be playing more man. And while he was with the Saints, that was more of his calling card, being able to play man and take more risks, trying to jump certain routes. If they're going to do a hitch, kind of bait it to make it look like you're playing cover three and backing up, and then nah, you're jumping that because you were actually in
Yep.
man coverage. So
Yep.
we'll see
I'm
if he's able to make those plays this year.
I'm excited to see it. I want to see him step into a better role, start seeing that similar player that was in, New Orleans. I want to see that player out here in New York
Hmm.
while we sign.
Yes, sir.
Next one, Greg Newsome the second, I think. Right now, I
Sure.
think he's in line to be, corner number
Quarterback.
2.
Yeah.
Um, he looked good in mini camp.
Hmm.
I think from the injuries and things of that nature as well, I think he just needs to regain his confidence.
Okay.
Expectations for him under Wilson, again, I think with Wilson being that defensive back minded, I think he's going to be able to connect with these corners a little bit better than the other defensive coaches that we've had. So I
Yeah.
think he's going to be able to regain that confidence that I was just speaking of, and we're going to start seeing, him back out doing the celebrations that I was posting when we first signed him and things like that.
Yeah.
Walking out with the radio and things of that nature. I want to see that cockiness, bring that attitude back to the defense.
Mhm.
Um, so I definitely think he's again, I think he's doing well. He looked good in minicamp. He's gonna do well under Denard Wilson, and we'll see that confidence come back. Um,
See.
Especially with the room that he's in. I think
Mhm.
now there's a lot more competition. It wasn't
Mhm.
just, it's not just him going against Paulson Adebo. Now he's got people right there at his bootstraps chasing for
Yeah.
number two. Number two, that number two
Mhm.
is a hot commodity right now.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
he has it as a lock, but I think he has a step forward in front of a few other people. Now,
Mhm. Yeah.
next person.
Um, hold up
Oh,
one
yeah, go ahead.
second. But
Yep.
for Greg Newsome, last year he was traded, I think, mid-season to Jacksonville from the Browns, and
Yeah,
I think this is why we were able to get him at like a more of a discount because I think he's a good player and he did okay with the Browns. It's just that in Jacksonville, when you get traded mid-season and then get thrown in the limelight, it's like, bro, you don't have that full off season to really understand the playbook. And yeah, they might give you base stuff to do, but you're not necessarily comfortable with like communicating and just feeling other players and how you like to do things, as far as
yeah, like
like how you
in every
cover
group.
in man coverage on the inside when you got the over the top help, just certain things like that. There's so much that goes into it. So him being here for a couple of months now and being able to get the communication with our safeties and other corners, it makes the world a difference for him. So I think that's going to allow him to really actually take this CB2 role and actually run with it. Even though we do have other players that are looking for that CB2 role, it looks like um, he's gonna run away with it just based off of comfortability and being a vet, and he's just been looking better. Mm,
Yeah,
he's been looking better in the practices.
it looks comfortable.
There you go.
Next person I got, Deontay Banks. I think he's
Okay.
cleared CB3 right now. We're starting to
Mhm.
see somebody put a battery in his back, and
Mhm.
he's coming with some juice, some energy.
Mhm.
52 tackles, 12 pass breakups, but QBs completed 80% of the passes on him last season
Oh
when they
damn.
threw his way. So
Damn.
I mean, the conversations that we were having last season, like, why is he on the field? What are we doing? This was a bust.
Mhm.
All those conversations were warranted when, the completion clip like that, it makes sense. I think due to the coaching and due to
Confidence issues, I think.
exactly the coaching, the confidence issues. Of course, if you're playing every game and they're targeting you all of the time, and you're
Mhm.
not winning those battles. And then on top of that, your coaching is not doing well. And then on top of that, your team is losing. Like, yeah, your
Yeah.
confidence is downward
Yeah.
spiral. I get so
People forget
again,
they're human. Like everything compounds.
you
Like,
know, especially coming in as a rookie, he had a somewhat decent season, but then it was just a downward trajectory. And then some people feed into the social media. I'm sure he
mhm.
saw everybody was saying, "Yo, is he a bust? When are we getting rid of him?" and all this extra stuff. So
Yeah.
we'll see. We'll see what happens, man. I was upset because I just don't like the effort.
Mhm. Yeah.
I'm
That
okay if you're trying and you're getting better, and we see that. But when we see you giving up on plays and stuff like that, that's when
yeah.
that's when I start saying, all right, let him go.
Yeah. He was
You don't want to
benched
play.
multiple times and
Don't put him out
coaches
there if you
getting
don't
on
want to
him
play. You know
about
what I'm
effort
saying?
effort
So
concerns. That's the
I
worst
think
thing.
I think with Denard Wilson right now, he's definitely putting that battery in his back, and he's revitalizing him, making him feel like, yo, you're
He's
an
fresh
athlete.
new slate.
At the rate you got drafted that high for a reason. Like, play like it. He's gonna
Yeah.
teach him some things that he didn't really see, and he's gonna have him playing well. So I do think
Yeah.
under Denard Wilson, we're gonna see a new Deontay Banks. Not
Yeah, because
saying he's jumping.
Deontay Banks has all the physical abilities to be
Yeah,
a good corner, you know? Very
it's just a matter
sticky
of
in man coverage. He loses at the release and at the catch point. He doesn't turn his head, and if Denard Wilson can get through to him and catch show him like, yo, just try to I don't know if he'll ever get it, just being able to turn his head. Because if he turns his head more as far as when he thinks the ball is released, he makes so much more plays, whether it might be just putting the
they,
arm in the
they,
right spot or,
they could be
just anything. Tackling early, I mean, well, not tackling early, but just 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 feeling more comfortable to turn around and possibly get an interception or just he just has the physical ability. That's why he was picked. It's just, getting that technique to get his head around and, be better at the release. Maybe that's something that some of these veteran wide receivers could help him develop how to stay with a receiver with a bigger release package. So, we'll see how it goes. And maybe Greg Newsom can help him out with that or however it may be, but we're looking for Denard Wilson to really help him get better in those areas, so he can start making some turnover worthy plays.
yeah, yeah, we need it. Next person, we're gonna move from Deontay Banks. Next person, Drew Phillips. I think he's a
Yes.
lock at the nickel spot.
Hmm. Yep.
I think he's again. I'm hoping that we get some better coaching so that way he's not a liability after 15 yards this season.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
I
Mm.
think within the 15, you already know he'll lock it up. He'll tackle. He'll get dirty. He'll
Uh,
stop like, he gets his nose into a lot of the plays, but
right. I
as
like that he's a good tackler.
as soon as you make him turn and run the other way, boy,
Yeah.
he gets real
Yeah.
grabby. So.
Mm,
We want to see him. We want to see him. Like I said, not be a liability downfield. Be able to cover more of the slot. You know, I do see a lot of the stuff on like Giants.com saying like our Darius Washington is
more
playing more corner in
nickel.
that nickel position than he
Yeah.
is in the safety. So he's on his coattails too. You know what I'm saying? So penalties will get you off of the field. I know Harbaugh's not going to take that. He's not
Right,
going to have
but I mean, I think it's all healthy
flipping
competition.
pass interference. You know what I'm saying? So he's going to have to be smarter about what he's doing and be better. Downfield. But like I
Yep,
said, as of right now, before we see anything, I think right now he's got the lock at the nickel position.
yep, yep, and
What you
it's
think?
good to have healthy competition like a Darius Washington being in the nickel. Just let Drew Phillips, because I mean, right now he seems like the number one and the lock for number one. But when you got other people playing your position pretty well, um, it makes you go that much harder. Especially if they put Calvin Austin in the slot, and now you're going up against him, but you're always doing good against him, and the other DBs aren't doing as well against him. Then it just solidifies your spot. So
Yeah. Yep.
I'm happy Drew Phillips is you know, he's a feisty young man and he likes to, yeah, man to get in a wide receiver's face. I remember he was getting in CD Lamb's face and he threw him
Yeah.
around a little bit. Like that's
Yeah.
that's what you like to see, that
That's what
attitude.
I'm talking about. That's what I'm
That
talking
when people yeah, when people uh play us on the field, they know that the nickel is definitely going to be here to tackle. And
He's
if you run it to his side, he gonna ramp up and definitely make a play, hopefully in the backfield. So
Yep. Yep. And I love that chirping in the game, bro. When he starts
mhm.
starts chirp, start talking all that nonsense. Like that's how you supposed to have it, bro. You get into their heads. He was in
Right.
CD's head that game. He had CD
Mhm.
locked. He was in his head. CD got
Yeah, I mean,
hurt. He did it off of one of the slants.
CD
That's not the
CD
part.
made plays. CD made
But
plays, but
I mean, yeah, nah, CD8. Don't get me wrong, CD8. But he was in his
yeah,
head. You know what I'm saying?
yeah, there you go. And the
And that's
thing
what
is,
you
for
need.
corner, my thing. See the corners, you got to be right all the time. It's like when you're wrong that one or two times, it's like magnified. It's like an offensive
Oh yeah,
lineman. You can be blocking perfect all game, and then you mess up one or two times, and then that's a tackle for loss or that's a sack, and that's all people are going to remember. So as a corner, it's a rough job, but I like um Drew Phillips to be our nickel
oh yeah,
corner.
most def. Well, the corner shoot, you missed those one or two times, and that's like flipping the field or they in the end zone. So
Hmm.
they
Exactly.
definitely a lot. Like again, I do understand the sack and we're losing a whole down and things like that. But yeah, the corner they definitely get scrutinized because those few mess ups are detrimental. Most of the
Yeah.
time, it's 40, 50 yard play, and you're like, damn, what just happened? So I definitely understand the pressure that corners carry. As far
Mhm.
as pressure being held, Colton Hood is the next corner that I have on the list.
Yes,
Our rookie
sir.
that we just signed. As far as
Mhm.
training camp is concerned, I haven't heard anything negative. That man has
Yep.
been a fly around the ball. He's always in front of the ball, or he's making plays, or he's in position. He's
Mhm.
never he has never looked shaken. He's
Right.
always looked comfortable. And that's like
Mhm.
to me, if you look comfortable at the cornerback position coming in as a rookie, that is all that we need because you're just going to learn and get better.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
he's already feeling like that. Shoot, all we got to get him in front of is these coaches. And like I said, he needs the right opportunity, and we're going to see a corner that we drafted that we moved up for, or not moved up for, but we drafted early.
So yeah, Colton Hood is definitely going to, he might push for a if he plays well, could push for the cornerback two spot as well.
Yeah.
He's definitely has the physical traits, a feisty guy, kind of like Phillips, to be able to make tackles and definitely put his nose in the right spot to make plays. And the thing I want to see for him is the issue that we have with Deontay Banks. Does he get his head around at the catch point? Is he going to be able um to work on his defense on release packages, like receivers getting off the line of scrimmage, because that's where you see a lot of corners get lost. That release package, either you're too aggressive up front and then you get penalized, and then you try to be less aggressive and now you're getting routed up because now they're getting these free releases. So is he going to find a happy medium where he's going to be able to be physical enough to not grab, just jack a receiver, jack his pads up, and then be able to, if he were to be in playing trail techniques, to be able to get your head around and get your arm around, or just be able to be in throwing lanes so the quarterback wants to go elsewhere. So
I feel it. All right. That's where I ended at the important cornerbacks. Now we're gonna get into some depth. We got some depth going on. I think the next person that I have on the list is Corey Black. Is he still
yeah.
is he still gonna be able, like, is he gonna make the 53? Are we gonna see something from him?
Um, Practice squad, I think, with the depth that we do have, if he does make it, it'll be a significant jump, but I think it's more of a practice squad. But I mean, they definitely do have to keep a certain amount of corners on the team, so he might
Yeah.
make it based off of having an understanding of
Oh,
the players on the field already and being able to communicate well and having the physical traits to be able to play. But
and
I
then
don't
we
know,
got
just developmental, a reserve kind of player come in if it's a really big package, and be on the field, and hopefully nobody targets him in a way that is like consistent, because everyone's going to get targeted. So
I don't think we'll see much. Hopefully, there's not too many packages that we would need it, but again, I don't think we'll see that much, and hopefully, not that many corners go down to where he needs to play like a major role. But
right, injured,
he is
but
that next corner behind Colton Hood that gets that. If we sign another one, like if we go with 5, I think they will go with 5. So he'll probably be that last roster spot, and then the
yeah,
rest will probably be practice squad. So the last people on the list: Jared Bernard, Converse,
mhm,
Rico, Payton, and then Art Green.
yeah, yeah,
They didn't really do much. They just been on the roster. There's not really much to really discuss
just
about them.
camp
Can't
competitors.
need you to do
Yeah,
something, try to defend. I think
um,
ultimately the
can I
room
do a
has,
special shout out to Thaddeus Dixon,
yeah,
corner that we got from North Carolina. Even though he tore his Achilles, he was coached under Bill Belichick, and we were looking at him to take the spot of Corey Black, as a developmental reserve that can possibly, because he has the length and the physical ability to actually play, to be an actual solid corner in this league. So him getting hurt so injured so early in his rookie career is rough, because like we've been talking about confidence in this role. So Daddy sticks and
thing
rest
is
up.
good thing is he'll be able to get worked out with NFL trainers and things of that nature. So he'll be able to bounce back, man. Because I can tell you right now, it's not fun. Shoot, I tore
Yeah.
the Achilles in December. I had the
Mhm.
the surgery like January, and I can tell you, what are we in? We're halfway through June, and I'm just starting to,
Mhm.
So
Oh
I
wow.
definitely understand. It's gonna take some time, but I think they're gonna get him right. They're gonna get him right. So hopefully he can get healthy enough to either A, get on the practice squad by the end of the year, or B, we'll see what he can do on the practice squad next year.
Yeah, exactly. So we'll see. But
I think ultimately, as far as the cornerback room is concerned, it's the best depth that we've had in a long time as well.
mhm.
So that kind of leads me into our main topic, man, the standard. So moving right into the standard this week has Joe Schoen finally built a complete football team.
Um,
What
I
do you
would like
think?
to say that we're stronger in certain positions. But as far as has he built a complete the question is a complete team, right?
Yes.
No. He hasn't built a complete team. We have positions that are great, like our edges. That's great. Our interior defensive line has yet to be seen. Is Darius Alexander going to step up and be that guy? We have other injuries on the defensive line. Roy Robinson Harrison. He played what I like to say is like film ball. Like he did good on film. You don't see those stats, but
Yeah.
in the film room, the linebackers are like, "Yo, thanks. You did this, so I was able to move, and I wasn't able to get hemmed up on this. Even though I this happened, I was able to get to that spot because you did your job well." So,
Yeah.
our corners, yeah, we're a lot better, I think, than last year. Um, but this roster, yeah, we would like to say it's Joe Schoen, but we're really this roster's being built more in our head coaches image. So I think that we're not a complete team just yet. I would like to see some more youth at the defensive line. Um, I would like to know if our safeties are going to be there. Is what's his name? The other safety, not we just drafted him from Minnesota. Uh,
Uh, uh, not
no,
pin up.
I'm drawing a blank here. Every time I have all this stuff written down, but I'm not finding it at this exact moment.
Who?
Yeah, but our safety
Uh,
room is is that going to be a concern for us in the years coming up? So, I mean, all the offensive line, I think we're solid. We got some pieces there. Marinola, um, Andrew Thomas. Uh, I just don't know. Like, are we going to add another running back to the piece to because I think
they were definitely looking into it.
yeah, Cam Scatterbo and Tracy are solid, but I would like to have a home run hitter, even though Tracy's supposed to be a home run hitter, but I would really like that home run hitter that whenever he's on the field, if he gets like a slant, it's gone, bro. Like most running backs in the NFL are really the ones that could take it to the crib, but I don't see that for like Scatterbo or something like that. He's probably going to be our number one this year. You know what I'm saying? He's more of a bruiser, so that's cool and all, but the receiving core is good. Our quarterback's good. Uh, it's just really th- the answer to the question is not a complete team because our defensive line, our linebackers are solid too. Yeah, it's really more just to be the defensive line and maybe getting one more offensive lineman, two more offensive linemen to really grow around Dart to make him feel comfortable for like the next 5 years.
That
So
makes sense. It
yeah,
makes
that's how
sense.
I'm looking.
Normally, I would agree.
Mm.
And this is a touchy subject because it's hard for me to say yes. Like Joe Shanes did something good.
We want this man gone.
There's like there's so many emotions towards this man. So like as of right now, I'm gonna tell you right now. Look, to answer the question, I think yes. The reason why
Mm.
I say this, and this is before we get down to the 53. This is like where we're sitting right now. I think this is the deepest roster that he's had his hands on. Whether
Okay.
it is built in Harbaugh's vision or not, we thought off season while Harbaugh's building his coaching staff and building the staff and bringing everybody together, we thought we weren't going to see Shane for too much longer. We thought Shane was out the door as soon as Harbaugh got in the door. Donna Ponte, I thought Donna Ponte might be taking his job. You know what I'm saying? So
Mhm.
there's a lot of things going on to where we didn't have any confidence in what he was doing. But slowly through the years, he will never be forgiven for letting Saquon walk.
Yeah, no, you're right. Yeah, that's definitely an
That's
issue
he will never be able to
because
get away from.
yeah.
Now, we step a step away from that, right? There's some
Tyler Newman.
decisions we don't
Sorry.
make. Tyler Newman, got it.
That's what I was thinking. I had to look it up real quick. I'm sorry.
Got you. And
But go
that
ahead.
I'll get to him in a moment too. But as far as Joe Schoen is concerned, I think this is the deepest roster that he's produced.
Mhm.
This is the best lot of players that they have to choose from. When we're talking about
Okay.
down from to the 53, there's going to be players that as soon as we let go are going to get signed by the team. And that's not normally the case for us. Normally,
Right.
our players get cut and then we get to sign them back to the practice squad 2 after that. You know what I mean? Because we're like, oh, you're still floating over here. I'm telling
Yeah.
you now, we cut down on the 53. Like these players are going to get signed to other places. So what he's doing right now, he's built depth in the cornerback room, depth in the wide receiver room. We have a great quarterback that starts and a great backup quarterback locked in.
Okay.
We have two running backs that, if Scatterboot stays healthy, they're going to be great together, a good tangent. On top of that, we got a fullback. We have great tight end room. As
That's
far
true.
as the roster is concerned right now, I think we are in position to contend to play in the playoffs. And that's what you want. We want to
Right.
be having meaningful football games in January, right?
Mhm.
December, we want to be talking about like playing meaningful games. So the way the roster looks, and before we cut down to 53 right now, I think we're in position to make that jump. And unfortunately, but fortunately, gotta give some credit to Joe Schoen. Whether whether it's all hardball or not, like he put himself in a position to keep his job. He put himself
Yeah.
in the position to get an extension while we all thought he was about to get fired.
Yeah.
So I got look, I'm gonna give him his credit. I ain't giving him his flowers yet till we get our Super Bowl.
Yeah.
I'm
No, I
gonna
know,
give
right? Then he gets some flowers, credit. He get everything he want. That's a shoot.
real talk though.
Yeah.
You get the ring, bro. I ain't saying nothing to you. Hey, I appreciate you.
Yeah. I mean, we got to give him props for drafting our quarterback. He's looking like he's going to be a franchise quarterback for the next 10 years. So,
I think so, man. I think so, man.
yeah,
Oh,
thank
man.
I think I've already said this, but thank God as Giants fans, we haven't really had to deal with too many quarterback problems. Yeah, they haven't been the best like Daniel Jones, but we went from Eli to Daniel Jones to Jackson Dart. Those three quarterbacks, like, yeah, we probably had a couple of games where some backups, Tyrod Taylor or something like that, but we really haven't had quarterback issues like that, and that's a good thing to have.
Yeah, it's been Eli, Daniel Jones,
I mean,
and then
now Jackson.
finally the great successor, my man Jackson Dart, JD6 is gonna ball out.
Yeah.
But it hasn't
Oh,
even with I mean, like Daniel Jones, like, come on. Like I was when he got drafted, I was not happy.
right.
I didn't know who he was. Then, a couple years go by. I tried to like believe the hype. I tried to get excited.
Mhm. The
And
thing,
then like,
bro, I got hype on his first game against Tampa Bay, and he came in. He was playing well, and he ran it in, and he's holding the ball up, and it's like, yeah, all right, we got a dual threat kind of quarterback, big, tall, strong guy. You know, he looking like he can make some good throws, and then it was just like his processing wasn't all the way there. Like he's a smart dude, but like when the bullets start flying, it's like, bro, you
so
you you could see where his limitations were as far as which routes he liked to throw. He could throw really good, you
that
know?
that was it. To me, he was too predictable. Like
Mhm,
you knew exactly what the offense was when Daniel Jones was behind the helm.
mhm.
He was
I
back there
mean,
exactly what it was. Saquon's getting the ball, plug the box. If Saquon doesn't get the ball, he's dropping back and he's looking into the flats.
yeah,
That was it.
yeah,
That's all
and
you started the flats, you had Daniel Jones lock the fuck up.
and
Like
then Daboll won Coach of the Year because, we
he
had a
opened
good defense, and then, Daniel Jones, they created a good offense for him where he's running the ball more, and if If he's not running the ball, Saquon is, dump it to the flats, and we were able to move the ball and
He
not
opened
put enough
it up.
points on the board. So
Yeah, he opened it up. Like they ball. Look, he's an offensive mind. I'll give him that. Like I will never take that from him. Like he's an offensive mind, but like Daniel Jones era, man. I'm glad
he
that's
wasn't it. He wasn't
Jack.
it.
And on top of that, like just the interviews alone, like he was just so stale. Like the deer in the headlights. You just didn't get like it wasn't. It's not a. He belongs in Indiana. You know, like
Mhm.
that's the
Yeah.
quarterback you need. Like the first interview I heard from Jackson Dart, I was like, "Yep, this man's here for this." Yeah, he's gonna be here
Yeah,
for.
yeah. Because I mean, I mean,
He knows how to carry
Jackson Dart.
a little
Yeah.
bit. He got some growing up to do, but he knows how to carry himself.
Yeah, there you go.
um, but with that being said, we're gonna bring us around to the roll call. The roll call this week. Which Giant is about to have the biggest breakout season?
Mm.
Because there's
Mm.
so many storylines revolving around this year. And now we got to look at the comeback season. Are we going to get comeback of the year from Malik Neighbors? Are we going to get
Mhm.
the comeback of the year from Scatterboo?
Yeah.
Are we going to see Darius Slayton's best season?
Right,
Isaiah
right.
Likely's going to be the best tight end in the league.
I mean, shoot. I
There's
would
so many storylines. Are we going to see Abdul Carter get
yeah,
35
breakout
sacks?
season. Man, you know who I really wish has a breakout season? Darius Alexander. Like, let him be the one that's really eating up those double teams. He's the one who people are game planning around him on defense, which allows Arvel Reese to really fly around. Like, oh my God. Yeah, Arvel Reese is a problem, but if we don't stop Darius Alexander, how the heck are we gonna run the ball? How the
Yeah.
heck are we gonna do this?
Okay.
So that's who I really want to have a breakout season and really be on people's radar. Like, yeah, this is the guy on the defense that you have to stop first, then everybody else.
That would be
So
amazing if we had a hidden gem on the defensive line.
yeah, man.
That would be
Like,
amazing. That'll feel like Denard Wilson would go bananas.
because
You
I
know what I
mean,
mean?
it starts up front. It starts up
He'd have
front, man.
yeah, he'd have a field day with it. But definitely, guys, look, roll call. You already know what time it is. Please let us know in the comments. Let us know what you think. Who's gonna be that breakout player of the year? Will it be one
Mhm.
of our offensive players? Will it be one of our defensive players? You might even give it to the coach. Who knows? Might be Harbaugh's year. But look,
Breakout player, Coach Harbaugh.
look, we
Yeah.
appreciate you guys coming. We appreciate you guys watching. We appreciate you guys spending your time with us. We know your time is valuable, but you spent some time listening to us here at the Big Blue Reborn. We will see you next week. This is a new era. This is the standard.
Peace.
Big Blue Reborn.